Derrick Rose tore his meniscus, out 6 to 8 weeks, which is the remainder of the NBA season. Although the headline saying Derrick Rose out for season is kind of laughable because there's 7 games left in the season. Yeah. We have the tweet from Knicks PR. An MRI of D. Rose's left knee revealed a torn meniscus that will require an arthroscopy. He will be out for the remaining five games of the NBA season. And then in addition to that, why does this play into the summer and what has to hold for it? Despite the Knicks drama, Derrick Rose will probably seek a max contract this summer. This is from a couple months ago. As you put it, and then there's the potential price tag. Some close to Rose have told friends he will seek a max contract for the summer, which is non-surprising. Any player wants to get a max contract. But another injury, Derrick Rose is like 27, 28 years old. It's not even like he's 30. Another injury to his knee. It doesn't matter which knee. Both have been so banged up over the past 3-4 years. I don't know what owner at this point will give $150 million or $100 million to Derrick Rose. He did play, for the most part, well this season. The Knicks are a train wreck. Derrick Rose as a whole was never going to help the Knicks become a better team, given all of that's gone on with Phil, Melo, the use of Porzingis, and starting guys who I kind of root for, like Ron Baker, undrafted out of Wichita State. But in Rose's case here, Francis, I can think of the Kings as the only organization dumb enough to sign him for a max contract. Yeah, and the Knicks.
It's not just, you mentioned it there, it's not just that he keeps getting injuries, right? Because he's got injuries, but as you look in the history of them, when your knee starts to really disintegrate in a way and you just continuously get these injuries. I know people that are close to me, really good football players, and in football, knee injuries automatically are the worst. Like you break your leg, yeah, it's awful. You put it back together, hopefully it comes back, and you're still as strong. Henrik Larsson broke his leg and then came back the strongest he's ever played in his life. Many people have done that as well, but your knee, it just almost feels like no matter how much you rehab it and you continue to build it back, there's still always that likelihood that your knee will give out again. And Derrick Rose tore his left ACL in 2012, missed the entire next season, made it through 10 games in 13-14 before he was signed with a torn meniscus in his right knee, missed 20 more games that season, and he played his most last year since his 2011 MVP season. He got 66 games, and that's why the Knicks.
Only one paragraph? I was going to just lean back.
Well, those are his major injuries, specifically to his knee. That's a lot considering you're only 27 on your knee. That's three major knee surgeries, 3 major knee problems.
And don't forget, orbital fracture in his eye, which he's claimed at times he's played with double vision, which, I mean, that's nobody's fault.
Well, that's good because he's always playing as if he's being double teamed.
Oh, poor Derrick Rose. This is so if you remember over the summer when the Knicks made the trade for Derrick Rose and they signed guys like Courtney Lee, there's like that immediate reaction who people say like on paper the Knicks, look, my expectation was 41 games, win 41 games, this roster on paper, there's zero excuse. And then, of course, coaching issues, Melo issues, Phil issues, how they opt to run the offense in the fourth quarter, the reserves playing more team basketball, mostly because they have no say. The guys like Baker and Hernangomez and even Porzingis in this case are so young that they're simply running what they're told to run, opposed to Rose and Melo, who feel at times that they need to start playing their isolation basketball. And I actually think this is a good thing for the Knicks. I don't like to see anybody get hurt, don't get me wrong. And I think this is going to be Derrick Rose's career in a nutshell. It's going to be one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history. What if Derrick Rose played at his MVP form for his whole career? I mean, you could say that about a lot of guys, but the Bulls at one point looked to be a team to be dominant for 5 years. They were supposed to still be dominant now with the pieces around Derrick Rose, with Joakim Noah and everything. And Jimmy Butler rising up with them too. So at this point, you can't sign him for $150 million. That would be insanity. Although I'm sure there's teams who are going to give him the money that he wants to at least lure him in. I don't know. It's not like Rose isn't going to play. You said it yourself, he's 27. He's not. If he was 34, you got to retire. But can you come back from this and play a full season and be beneficial to a team? No idea. You can't stay healthy. Unfortunately, you can't stay healthy. And you're never going to play a full season and full minutes at least 36 minutes a game with no knees. You have no knees. You got no knees. He's got no bounce. We watched him play against the Clippers. I saw him live again, and it's painful to watch Derrick Rose jump and get off the ground from a guy who used to have so much bounce. He used to be able to jump out of the building. Now he can't jump out of his chair. It's
easy to just say, like, and we can just kind of say what team would look into him. But as you mentioned, you think about Derrick Rose as a person. It must be heartbreaking because he's shown that he could play at an MVP level in 2011, and he looked to be one of the most promising players we'd seen. So it's always going to be that thing of like, could I have gotten a ring? Because couldn't I have done this if I were able to take the Bulls back to the glory days by carrying this team? And that's regardless of what you think about Derrick Rose as a person. To see an athlete not reach the potential, I think, is always like an injustice. You always want to see players really break through and reach their potential. And this year, as you mentioned, it wasn't. I mean, he didn't have that bad of a year. No, I think he had 24 points against San Antonio, 27 against Detroit in his last 2 games, and I think he averaged 18-4 throughout 64 games, which could be worse. But.
He wasn't right for the Knicks. I was trying to be optimistic when we traded for him. He wasn't right for the Knicks. It didn't work out. The experiment didn't work out. Could he have been with this type of play on a team like even the Orlando Magic and made them a better team? I would think so. I would think like a team even like the Pelicans would have made them a little bit better as a point guard that they needed and played at this level, at the level he played at. Sure. The Knicks weren't going to work. Other teams wouldn't have worked either. It just was not the fit that was right. And now the Bulls and the Knicks are left in complete shambles. Heading into the summer of 2017, we have our pick, though, for the first round. We have a lot of people on the books that we need to get off of the books.
Yep.
And Tommy Beer, good friend he came on the show before, did send out the tweet, is this the worst season in Knicks history? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's Mets season, though. It's opening day. It doesn't matter. It's okay, Francis. The Mets are back.
Yeah, it's opening.
You watching opening day?
Opening day was yesterday?
It was kind of, I don't know, man. Like, it was opening day's Monday. Even though next year you're never going to get an opening day on Monday again. You get opening day on, like, Wednesdays and Thursday because it's part of the collective bargaining agreement. But it's Monday. It's always Monday. Opening night was yesterday.
Interesting.
/day.
This is how I feel about it.
I thought this would be the year.